YouTube, this is Ian here, and again we're going to be working with our virtual machines. On the screen I have a couple tasks we're going to be performing to the server 01 and 02. We're going to use RDC client, which is the remote desktop connection client. We're going to create an Rdp file and remotely configure the RDC client settings. Now first we're going to want to make sure that we have installed on both servers are the terminal server services. Once you have those installed, you can have to restart the servers, and then what you'll do is you'll create a note on the notepad. I've already done so. You're going to name it Lab08, and I've just put some basic text on it so you can see which one was created on which server. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go to the remote desktop connection client, and we're going to go to options. In the display, we're going to lower the display to half, anything less than full size. We're going to go to the local resources, and we're going to take the sound off the computer, and we're going to make sure no printers are installed. For the experience, we're going to drop it down, go to the local area network connection, and then in general you can type in the name of the server we'll be connecting to. In this case it's server 02, and the username is going to be Contoso student 1. Now once you go ahead and connect, it's going to ask you for some credentials. Go ahead and type in the password for your student 1 account, and then click OK. Now it's going to connect to the server 02 partner server. It's going to launch a terminal services. Some may take a little bit to connect. Okay, and once you connect, you can see that you are displayed the server 02 graphic user interface. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go to Start, and we're going to open up Notepad, and we're going to open up that file that we saved earlier, which is Lab08. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to modify the file. Okay, and then I'm going to save it. And then from there, what we're going to do is we'll close out of that, and we're going to exit from this terminal service connection, and click OK. Okay, so once you've exited the terminal services on the server 01, you're going to hop to the partner server, and you're going to enter the student 1 account information. We're going to log back in. Notice how the notepad is still running. This is because on the remote desktop connection that you were on, when you exited out of the terminal services, although it says you exited, the programs that are still running stay running until you actually log off from the computer. So once we've noticed how the notepad stays open, what we're going to do now is create an Rdp file. Now in order to do this, we're going to go back to the remote desktop connection. We're going to go to the options. We're going to change the display this time to full screen. We're going to go to general and save as. Now we're going to make sure that the desktop is highlighted. We're going to name it 2020 server 02 because that's where it will take us. And then we'll click save. And then we're going to click connect. It's going to ask for a trustworthy connection. You'll click connect, and it's going to ask you for your credentials. Click enter, and then it'll take a second to connect. Once it establishes the connection, you'll see this yellow bar here at the top. This just means that we're in full screen. So notice how the notepad is still running. So once we get here, this was just for demonstration. We'll go ahead and close out of the server 02 and click OK. And then we're going to go here to where the Rdp file that we created. We're going to right click it, and we're going to click connect. It's going to give you a warning, ask you to connect. Go ahead and click connect, and then it's going to ask you for credentials back to the student 01 account. Just go ahead and enter those, and then it'll say it's connecting to server 02. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and close out of that. What we're going to do is we're going to log off the server 02 remote connection. So once you've done that, you can go ahead and hop over to server 02, and you can log in using the student account. Notice how the Notepad window is not open any longer. This is due to the fact that we logged off of the remote desktop connection instead of just closing out of it. So after doing that, it's a demonstration of how to create the Rdp file. Now what we're going to do is we're going to remotely configure the RDC client settings. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go to Administrative Tools, we're going to go to the Terminal Services, and we're going to go to the Configuration of Terminal Services. It's going to ask you for permission to continue. Okay, then once we do that, we're going to right click the RDP TCP icon and click Properties. So we'll do that. And then we're going to go to the environment settings and we're going to click the Start the following program when the user logs on radio. And as you can see, I've already entered the credentials for the program path and file name. And we're going to click OK. Alright, once you've done that, you can close out of the terminal service configuration box. What we're going to do now is go to the remote desktop connection. We'll go to Properties and then Programs. We will click the checkbox next to Start the following program on connection. We're going to type in the path for the calculator, which is Windows System 32 CalcX. And then we're going to click Connect. It's going to ask for the password for the Contoso account. Click Enter. And it may take a little bit to connect as usual. And as you notice, once the connection is created and it works, the notepad automatically opens up without having to click to open it. Now, notice how this remote desktop connection is different, as there is no start menu. Now in order to get out of this, all you have to do is go to File and click Exit. That'll basically log you off. Thank you for watching. This concludes Lab 8.